This is true. This is true. We got our hands up and still don't shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up and still don't shoot.
Slavery abolished civil rights in 64. If we all agree, what are we fighting for? A world without fear, a world without shame. For children, don't avoid accidents to avoid being blamed for a crime they didn't commit in a city they never meant to visit. But imagine this: sirens report a trigger an alarm. Why in the car, people come to protect you from harm. Those who abuse power are now being punished. Now they know the fear within moments they're caught.
This is true. This is true. We got our hands up and still don't shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up and still don't shoot. You gotta protect them. They hate us because they want us bowing down. No, we never bowing down. Just keep them hands up and stay praying. Yeah, we stand, we fall. Late night, you pull it off. You ain't gotta know who to call. My skin tell me now that they can't judge a book by its cover. But when it comes to blood, this is true. This is true. We got our hands up and still don't shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up and still don't shoot. Hey. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up. They still gonna shoot.
Fear and paranoia no longer an excuse. Before they can act, we end the abuse. Until those with guns learn to act with grace. We watch their every move. We show up and we face. The reality we live, the right to stop the search. We change the game, strip their right to hurt. Families torn apart at the seams. If one man falls, we lose an entire army.
They still gon' shoot. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up. They still gon' shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up. They still gon' shoot. Yo, that is nothing but the truth. Shout out to Raj Will and Dr. Talia. I think it's Wachowski. That song is everything. And I think it's befitting because today I have a dope set of gentlemen here with me. And yes, they are all melanated. And that song is important because y'all know I already got to take it there before we even began. Once again, it's noon and you rocking with your girl Lily Mae on PrimeTime with SENOJ. But I need to say this. There are people out here who seemingly have no regard for the lives of Black and brown people, nor do they have any regard for people of any other persuasion who are fighting for our rights. And I think it is very important for me to highlight this today because I went to bed last night with a heavy heart because I had to refrain from going gospel gangster on social media because of something that I read, something that was directed towards a status that was posted. And so I just have to say, be mindful that if you are a white person or a Hispanic person or Asian American or anybody else who's out there fighting for the rights of Black and brown people, guess what? Your life doesn't matter either, because there are some people who think that you should be killed because you're fighting for Black and brown people, and it's sickening to me. But let's bring it back. Let's bring the energy back. But I wanted to make sure that I threw that out there first. But now that I got my beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, strong, determined, honorable African American man with me today, I want to start off by introducing someone who I'm going to take it to the top. This gentleman is from Philly, where he is from. And he is a media personality. But more importantly, he is the VP of hip hop since 1987.com and a host on 98.5 FM. Now, I ain't gonna call him out his government. So I'm just gonna say I'm bringing to the stage Wilde Tuna.
Hey, what's going on, Queen? Blessings. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, I appreciate you for all that you're doing for our independent artists and just for being who you are in a time like this.
Right.
For real.
Nothing better. First and foremost, I want to say Black Lives Matter. First and foremost. Secondly, I want to say everybody who supports Black Lives Matter, no matter your race or color, I love you because it's way more bigger than what they're trying to make this small movement. You know what I'm saying? It's way more than that. And it's not a group. It's a mindset. You know what I'm saying? People keep saying it's a group, it's a hate group, or whatever kind of group they want to put it in. It's not a group, it's a mindset. And if you don't feel like Black Lives Matter, then you know it just shows you how much you love yourself. That's how I put it.
You know what? You
can't love anybody else,
it.
love yourself.
Tell it like it is.
But it is. But
all right.
Thank you for having me. hiphop1987.com. I am the VP. I do work as a journalist. I am on 98.5 FM. You got it all right. But first and foremost, I'm a Black man. I'm trying to be the best staple I can for Philadelphia in music and outside of music. You know what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. But let's get it though. I appreciate you, SENOJ.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited. And guys, I have to say that social media is not the devil.
Right.
I met this gentleman on social media, and the funny thing is we were in the same building last weekend and we did not physically touch, but we did spiritually touch. He's here today, and we definitely are going to be rocking out together in a couple of weeks back in a building in ATL. So I'm excited about that. But let's jump in because you started out as an artist.
Right.
Let's talk about your artistry first, and then we're going to come down to talking about you as an entrepreneur and all of that. But let's talk about your artistry first.
All right. First thing first, I used to write back in the day poetry. I started out writing poetry. And, keep it real back then, me writing poetry at the time, socially wasn't like the flyest thing in the world. So, so I said, you know what, we rapping, let me transition to rap, right? So me writing poetry, I wasn't really acclimated to how to write a song. So, my grandma ended up teaching me how to write, put my lyrics down in form, teach me syllables, teach me word counts, all that. So I learned from my grandma how to write. She also wrote poetry and music. So once I learned that was about age 13, 14. Then I started doing the freestyle thing. I was, learning to write, but it just wasn't coming out how grandma was putting it together. So I would freestyle. I learned freestyle and I was flawless. I, mastered it. And then, years later, you be in high school, you at parties, you freestyling, battling. People want, you go all around the city. People want to battle you because you say you rap. So, I got my foot in the door just being competitive. Later on, say about the age 20, I started taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? Moms was like, look, you decided not to go to college. I went to all kinds of trade schools, graduated, did it all, but I just love music so much that all these degrees and certificates wasn't really it. You know what I'm saying? I did it all. I got a whole list of all kinds of skills I do in the back end. But so what I did was I took that drive and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put everything into the music. So I ended up, jumping on tours, doing shows, put together a little group, you know what I'm saying, and start producing, start writing for other people. So around age 25, I had did at least, over 1,000 shows. I had recorded at least 2,000 songs on my personal hard drive, let alone other, producers' hard drives. And then I got a deal. I got offered a distribution deal with The Roots. So shout out to Dice Raw, shout out to DJ Circuit Breaker. They put me in a situation where it's like I can create the kind of music I wanted because I was always a conscious rapper. I was always, rapping and keeping the hip hop essence. You know what I mean? I never really wanted to make the club songs. I tried it. I never really wanted to, even with the auto tune thing. I never really did the auto tune thing. I tried it, but I like rap, so I was rapping, and they allowed me to do that. So age 26 to 28, I would say, I was under the roots. We did more shows, more touring, bigger features, bigger shows. You know what I'm saying? Everything was 100. No complaints. I mean, no complaints to this day. Shout out to Dice Raw, shout out to DJ Circuit Break, the ones who put me in the building. No complaints. So I then later got an offer to work as a journalist with Hip Hop since 1987. The offer came right at the end of my contract, so it was kind of like perfect timing. So right at the end of the contract, it was like, you know, the Roots at the time were working on the album, so, you know, the artists underneath them wasn't really on the priority list. They were putting together the album, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying to get plays. I was trying to help with the album. I ain't even mad. I was, you know, did some playwrights with Dice Raw, did some song, you know, some features and placements. So then we got an offer to be a journalist, and I'm like, a journalist? At the time, I'm like, a journalist? Like, what am I gonna write about? Nobody wanna. I'm still in my rap mindset. I'm like, what they want me to write about? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. They saw potential in me to understand, like, you know, if you take someone who's been through the steps of being in the industry, and then allow them to put the perspective on it, it's different from having, no disrespect to anybody else, but it's different from having some college kid or, you know, some kid from who knows where, who just knows how to write to come get into the industry. So, dang, put me in. I started picking it up, started studying. You know, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. So I started studying, figuring out how it works, and you know, a year into it, they offered me a position because within me being a journalist, I had a lot of connections being an artist and a rapper. So not only did I have respect from artists and producers and people who are in the industry already, you know, it was like, oh wait, not only can you help me, but you're not gonna take no shine from me because you're not an artist no more, you're a journalist. So phone starts blowing up, get some connections. We end up, my major breakthrough was when I got a deal. Rest in peace to Tony Manchin. He passed away earlier this year through COVID-19. But he put me in position with YouTube at the YouTube space in the Google building. Once I got that position and we locked that deal in, Hip Hop since 1987 said, hey, we love the way you're working. Within a year, you did a lot. So we're gonna offer you this vice president position, which is, you know, it's just, I'm still doing everything. It's just I'm handling more. I have more access to deal with the people, and which is great because I'm the person to deal with the people. You know what I'm saying? I got a People's Choice Award from Philly Hip Hop Awards. You know what I'm saying? I had the most votes. That's one of the only awards from Philly Hip Hop Awards where the vote counts. It's not about the committee and what they say. So I had to actually have people back me and vote for me to get that award. So, you know, it's just, you know, life just worked out perfectly. You know, not a lot of hardships, but I can't say I'm upset about anything that happened. And right now I'm just taking the reins at 87. You know, I'm connecting with the artists. We try to reach, as you know, we going all over the nation, trying to grab the talent. We trying to grab all of the top artists, all the top producers, DJs, and really give them a platform because, like I said, hip hop since 1987 is Black-owned family business. It is not no corporate. You know, you can't come over here talking about you want to do, you know, whatever, for whatever. Like, if it ain't for the culture, we not backing it. You know what I'm saying? We're not backing it. So right now, that's how we doing. We pushing heavy for the culture. We trying to revamp and get everybody that's, you know, really grinding, not just on the internet. You know what I'm saying? People out here really making things happen. They traveling, they working, they connected with people. So that's what we doing. We putting on for the artists, putting together PR plans, marketing plans, doing artist development, you know, all that, the whole rundown.
Wow. So, all right, guys, if you're just checking in, I am chopping it up with none other than the VP of Hip Hop since 1987.com and the host on 98.5 FM. If y'all don't know where he from, baby, he from Philly, baby. And he's doing it and doing it and doing it well. So if you don't know, you need to go on over to IG and look at Wilde Tuna. That's WILDE.
Right.
Tuna. But you gotta tell me where this name came from.
Oh, yeah, that's major. That's major. Okay. So formerly I was known as the Young King. That was my artist name. I was the Young King. Before that, let me take it way back. When I first started, I thought I was the most hood, trapped out. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't know no better. We kids. So my name was Ghost, right? Crazy how Ghost is the new thing now. The power, you know, that's the. So back then I was like 12 or 13, 14, calling myself Ghost. Yeah, I'm Ghost. That's my name. My whole thing behind it was, yeah, you know, I come up, I scare you with these bars, and I'm slide out. I ain't gonna stick around. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, growing up, and I started maturing, and I started thinking about my music, and I was like, you know, if I want to uphold myself, you know, being a Nas fan, being a Jay-Z fan, being a Common and Mos Def, like people who make conscious music, on top of, you know, Wu-Tang and everything, like, but on a general basis, I wanted to make that statement of we bigger than what people wanted to make us out to be. So I changed my name to the Young King. Picked up. Everybody called me, you know, it was nothing because I already had the respect. You're like, that's what you gonna call yourself? Or that's what you gonna call yourself. You know what I mean? Most people can't pick their own names. You know what I mean? So that was my artist. I transitioned to, you know, being a journalist. And if I did a little study, and there's a book called The Young King, and that book is by Oscar Wilde. And that book actually kind of gave a little insight to, you know, what was possible. You know, I kind of wanted to rewrite my story. And the story of the Young King, which was crazy, actually was kind of like what I was feeling. Like I was always a person who, if I get $1 million, I'm giving away 900,000 of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the story of the Young King. He was a young king, young boy, got rich early, and his whole thing was giving back. So I just took that, the Wilde out of that. So I'm like, I'm gonna rewrite my story. So I took Oscar Wilde last name. For a while, as a journalist, I was saying I was the Black Oscar Wilde. You know what I'm saying? I'm rewriting everything. So I took the Wilde, and Tuna comes from a lifelong, you know, nickname from the family. So when my mom was pregnant with me, she couldn't eat nothing else other than tuna fish sandwiches, tuna on crackers, whatever, anything else, she would get sick, right? So this was like 9 months ago after that. So when I came out, she was like, look, you my little tuna fish, you my little tuna. Auntie was calling me tuna casserole, all kinds of crazy names came out. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it back to where I'm all the way my roots. Tuna, that's my name. So I put Wild Tuna. Now, the wild part, people think the wild part just mean I'll be crazy, I'll be wild and turning up and all that. And I do sometimes when it's supposed to, when the time is right. But, you know, it is 100% just because I rewrote my story. You know what I'm saying? That's the wild part. But that's where that comes from. And now, you know, Wild Tuna, 8.5 FM. Shout out to DJ Ismatic. Helped me get into the doors at 98.5 FM. So, you know, shout out to DJ Ismatic. I definitely had to shout him out. He just tapped in.
Oh, wow. What's up, DJ Ismatic? Look, you on next. And
Right.
so, oh my gosh. All right. So now's the time for you to give the independent artist, but now you have a very big task.
I do.
Are you ready?
I do.
This is what I need from you.
Mhm.
I need you to give journalists and aspiring journalists a little bit of motivation and inspiration on what they need to do to kind of pull themselves up through the ranks.
Best thing I could tell you, anybody to do who's trying to do anything in life. The first thing you got to do is study. You got to know what it is the job entails. You got to know who did it before you. You got to know what happened. You know, you got to do a history. Like when I first stepped into hip hop, all my uncles, all the people around me say, yo, if you gonna rap, you better study and know who these people are. Because if you don't know them, we not gonna support you. That's my family. So I'm like, you know what? Let me figure out who DJ Kool Herc is and Grandmaster Flash and you know, Kool Mo D and like, you know what I'm saying? Let me figure out who these people are. So I feel like if you being a journalist or a reporter or a host, it's time you do your research, study the good and bad, so that way you know what to do in the future, how to handle yourself. The number two thing I would say is spend at least 5 hours a day doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? At least 5 hours. If you got I know a lot of people got other jobs and stuff like that, but you got to spend at least 5 hours, at least, because I spent way more than that. You know what I mean? To get where I got. So at least 5 hours, I can say you'll be consistent. You'll grow well in the business. constantly promote, constantly connect. And then when it comes to the content, this is the most important part, because even I make mistakes sometimes. And being a journalist, I make mistakes because you got to establish what kind of journalist you're going to be. Are you going to be the type of journalist that's going to report the facts in the news and let it be? Are you going to be the journalist that's going to analyze the facts in the news? Or are you going to do both? You know what I'm saying? Because there's many lanes. Or you just want to be a journalist to write about sports. That has nothing to do with anything that's going on in the world that really matters. You know what I'm saying? It's all about you. Whatever you love, do what you love. But, you got to just figure out how you want to present yourself. And that's what it's all about. And me personally, I do my best to keep the facts on the table and just let the people handle it. But there's certain things that we got to educate our people on. And that takes opinion. You know what I'm saying? I can't just give you facts all the time and expect you to take those facts the same way I'm taking them. You know what I mean? Because I know history behind the facts. So I had to give my opinion. I had to tell someone, hey, like I had an argument on Facebook today. Someone posted something, it's always Facebook. People get real brave. You know what I'm saying? I was basically trying to explain. They were trying to tell me we shouldn't be burning and doing this and that and all these things, right? And I agree with that. We shouldn't have to do that. But we have to do that because when you don't give people a choice or a voice, it's like I can only write so much. Hip hop since 1987, we get about 30 million views a month, which is great. But there's billions of people in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I can only do so much. So it's like those people got to understand like this. We don't have a choice. I've been on the front lines with people out here protesting. When I say like, yo, they don't have a choice. It hurts my heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? To be like, yo, these kids is out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Let me calm down. Like, these kids is in the streets with no choice, yo. That's crazy. They got me turned up and shit. I got 7 kids. I got 7 kids. Like, people in the streets don't have a choice. And all you do is build what you build, and then you destroy what you created if you can't use it no more. You know what I'm saying? If you go back in the history and you look at all the civilizations that existed, they no longer exist because when they no longer had a use for it, they destroyed it and started over. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we need to burn this shit down until they change the law. I'm sorry. This is how I feel. We built it. You know what I'm saying? And we still building it. They don't want to give us reparations, and we the number 1 spenders in the world. Why don't you give the number 1 spenders the money to boost the economy? Because if you give us money, some of the smart ones going to know how to manipulate that system. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that go, man. But yeah, that shit, it's heartbreaking though, because I'm going through it. Like yesterday, I didn't even want to go outside. I didn't even want to go outside at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, Philly, number 1 in homicides. You know what I'm saying? America, number 1 in cops killing unarmed men. You know what I'm saying? This shit crazy, man. It's crazy world we live in. I'm trying to move back to Africa. As soon as I get it back, I'm out.
So you know what? Wow. You really have dropped so much knowledge. You dropping jewels, but you know what? You speaking truth. And you already know when you speak truth, the people don't want to hear it. For real, some of our people don't want to hear it. But what I love about the way you presented it is that it didn't seem like you were attacking anybody that didn't believe what you believe or didn't feel the way you feel. And I love that. I think sometimes where we go wrong is we try to force people to think like us. You can't force anybody to think like you. And guys, look, I tell you what we're going to do, Wilde. This is what we're going to do. You're coming back, but you're coming back on my Thursday show, All Things Authentic, and we're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about this for 60 minutes, and we're going to have more people just like you and I, and we're really going to dissect this thing because I, like you, was ready to go all the way in on Facebook yesterday, but shout out to my 2 sisters because they said, Lil, calm down because you have a platform, so use your platform for it. Don't get into these comment debates with people because the thing is, what's going on? I watched that RNC, and guys, we're gonna wind it down so that we can bring in our other guests. But I watched the Republican National Convention just as well as the Democratic National Convention, and it's so sad that every Black acclaimed Republican in the U.S. was on that convention for a purpose. And the purpose was, why is it that all of the Black men on that convention had to represent being born from a single mother? Really? Or a single parent household?
It's
And,
all,
but
all
yet
cats.
we keep talking about how Christian like this man is and how ethical he is and how he cares about people. But you didn't reach out to Jacob Blake's family until you heard that Biden and Kamala Harris had reached out to him. Dismiss me with the foolishness, but I'm gonna bring it back because this is Wilde Tuna's day, and we talking about Wilde Tuna from Philly, and he is the vice president of hip hop since 1987.com and the host of 98.5 FM. Wilde Tuna, tell the people where they can find you on social media because I'm ready to get riled up.
You already know. I'm right with you. I'm just going to look, I'm going to be in the streets with you out here. You know what I mean? Don't get me started. You know what I mean? But look, follow me at Wilde Tuna. You see the name at that everywhere to pop up: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all your social platforms. Definitely get with hip hop since 1987.com. Visit that website. Stay up to date with what's going on in the streets out here, in the music, entertainment, sports, everything. We cover everything on the website. And, you know, get with us, man. Any artists that need an opportunity, that feel like they're ready, or, you know, want to get ready, get with us. You know, we'll put you together a nice little plan, nice little game plan. I give people a 6-month program. You know what I'm saying? You work with me for 6 months. You're going to see what happened in those 6 months, and then call me if, you know, you want to come back. That's how we do it.
I know that's right. Well, Wilde Tuna, let me just say this on behalf of my platform and also Sky4 Records. We salute you. Shout out to the CEO Frank Mosley. We talk about you a lot. We're watching you work, and so we definitely will connect very, very soon. But thank you so much for rocking it out with me. I know you got something major to do. I know I wish I were there, but it's all good because I'm gonna see you in about 3 weeks.
That's a bet. That's a bet. Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks,
you.
darling.
Anything you need, just give me a call. We got you on this side.
All right. Talk to you later. Oh my God, guys. Wilde Tuna, I already know what time it is. He is conscious. Now, he woke for real. See, some of y'all just woke for social media, but he's woke for real. And he's using his platform not for self, but for the collective. But I'm not gonna go there because y'all know I'll take it there. So let me tone down. Let me tone down and get ready to bring out our next guest of the hour. And he is an R&B and hip hop recording artist from Memphis, Tennessee. But interestingly, he is an Arkansas native. And so I want you to talk with him and listen to him because he's a different kind of artist. He's not what you think he is. So I present to you KB Ben.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, not much.
So KB Ben, tell the people who you are.
I'm KB Ben. I'm out of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm an R&B hip hop artist, and I've been back in the game for about a year now.
Yeah. But I need you to talk to us a little bit about what kind of artist you are, because I feel like people get the wrong perception of who you are.
Well, I put my life in my music. Anything that I speak about, anything you hear in my music. But most of the time, most people look at me, they automatically assume I'm a rapper. So when I get up there, you know, they weren't familiar who I am. They would when I get off stage or something, they'll, man, I thought you was a rapper, man. Like, you know, and you know, for me, it's a good feeling to kind of feel different. I mean, to stand out, I would say. But yeah, overall, yeah, I get prejudged a lot.
All right, so let's talk about your career because I know that you started young, but you had to step back. So what I want to do, I want to step back and I want you to talk to us about your journey in artistry from the beginning to where you are now.
Okay. I started singing around the age of 5. That would be like 1996. I'm 29 years old. I fell in love with the Temptations. I'm the youngest of 7 kids, I'm a baby. I grew up on a lot of old school music, and I just found, as far as I can remember, I always loved music. And I started doing that, and when my mom found out I was serious about it, they started, you know, putting me in little different choirs, and I was doing shows, and I was at one point I was a wedding singer right before we moved to Memphis. I had did like 3 weddings in Little Rock through my stepfather, and you know, he was pushing me a lot. By my first karaoke machine, and I mean, I would just be at it all day. But we moved to Memphis, and Memphis was different. Memphis was very different. Singing wasn't, it wasn't looked back, during that time, they didn't look at it too well, like, so I just kind of kept it to myself. I would say around, I had a rough journey. So, around 14, 15, I moved out on my own. I had nowhere to go. I told my mom I was going, I gotta roll. I love you, but I gotta go do my own thing. It's just not working out here, and I'm not comfortable here. So she was like, "Where you gonna go?" I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out." So I got me a backpack, couple clothes, and I just left. And I stayed with wherever I could. I slept in cars, my car rather, at Walmart or something. Be out with my friends. Be 4 or 5 of us. Whoever. At the end of the day, can I stay at your house? Can I stay at somebody's house? So it's been times we in high school. They had to sneak me in their house. I had to sleep beside the bed on the floor. I had to get snuck in the house. But my living situation, I wasn't really comfortable with it. I had a stepfather. I didn't. I don't know how the situation really was, but I know he wasn't too fond of me or any of my siblings. So I had it rough. I wasn't allowed to leave my room unless I was going to the bathroom or the kitchen. I didn't have a TV in my room. I took the door off my room. I just, I might get 1 pair of shoes for the whole school year, 2, 3 pair of pants. So for me to, just be around it and knowing that we could do better. I don't, and I know I'm seeing everybody else and my stepbrothers. So it just kind of made me feel like, it's like I told my mama, I love you. All my brothers and sisters got put out, but she stood with me. She wouldn't allow me to get kicked out. But I end up, to keep the tension. This is what you want to do. This is who you love. Look, I figure it out from here. I'm 15. At that time, I thought I was grown. I had to figure it out, but if anything was better than where I was at. So I got into music around that time, and I was doing shows. I got signed when I was 17. I was through an independent record label. If you're familiar with Bobby OJ, it was a friend of his who his son was a producer as well, and I got linked up with him. And next thing I know, we were out of town doing shows, and in the studio a lot. It went like that, and it was I eventually left that. The label folded, and I went to the military for 2 years. Got into some legal trouble. And then I had to come back home. I did a little time, and then got back into the music again briefly. And then I just left it alone and started working. I lived a street life. During that time, I was doing a lot of different things that I shouldn't have done. I'm not going to speak on too much, but I've almost been killed on a couple of occasions. I don't take any pills or anything. I've OD'd on pills before. I almost died. So I had a rough life, a rough journey. I'm woke now. I have children of my own, and that really woke me up. And so now I'm just pushing forward with this music. And then I got into it. I had a little relationship problem. Hurt. I got hurt. It happens in life, but I understand people make mistakes. So we work there, we push it through, and I just got back into it, and I channeled that, and it was like a drive for me to just say, hey, I'm gonna chase my dreams. It wasn't to say I don't care for anyone, but I'm gonna focus on me, and I'm gonna do what makes me happy. So I got back into music, and man, the love that I've received here from Memphis so far, and Memphis is, if you know Memphis is a very urban. It's a rap scene. You don't besides Justin Timberlake, we don't really have anybody. So I'm trying to make their way, but we have a lot of great talented artists out here, R&B singers is doing their thing, but I don't limit myself. Whatever I feel when I hear that music, I put it down. Whether it's I guess what people consider trap, but I'm gonna sing it. I don't do no rapping at all. So I think that's what makes me stand out, and I just put truth and facts in my lyrics.
KB Ben, that is what I love, guys. And if you just checking in, you rocking out with your girl Lily Mae on Primetime with SENOJ, and I am sitting here with KB Ben, and y'all, for real, when I tell you, this dude is super dope. And I too thought he was a rapper. And then when I heard him sing, I was like, man, this auto-tuning. I said, send me some raw vocals. Let me hear some raw vocals. And baby, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So KB, what you got going on now? What's out there for us?
I just released a single. Me and my partner, I'm working on a project with him. He's a dope artist out of Memphis. He's a rapper, and and if this is something I thought about, no one's done it besides Omarion and Bow Wow, and especially coming out of Memphis, you don't see any R&B singers doing this. And we got a single out right now coming up off our project. It's called Who Knew. The video is out right now. It's KB Ben, Young Rod, KB Ben, Who Knew, whatever you type, Who Knew. I have a R&B EP that I released Valentine's Day, February 14th. It's called Taking Chances, KB Ben. That was kind of more so what started my drive back into music. So it's gonna be a lot of sadness in there or whatever. But Better Than is my favorite track off that record. That was more uplifting. I don't know. I heard that beat and I just, I love women and I'm a real romantic guy. Despite my appearance, a lot of women tell me, your appearance don't match your personality. Yeah, so till they get to know me.
And I was about to say that because I don't get that from you. Like, once again, guys, like even the same thing with Wilde Tuna. So KB Ben and I, of course, connected over social media. And when I met him for the first time last weekend, shout out to Rico, Capital, all of them with the Atlanta Hip Hop and Fashion Show. Your presence is very warm and very inviting. So, I mean, maybe they had something going on with them because a lot of time when people feel that type of way, it's something going on with them. But yeah, I didn't get that at all. I definitely got a warm, welcoming spirit from you. So that's super duper dope. So we're gonna have fun because I love to have fun with my guests. See, Wilde Tuna and I were lit, like for real, because we had to talk about this conscious culture because these people crazy out here.
Oh yeah.
And people don't understand. I tell people all the time, I laugh and I joke and I hug, but I be telling people, don't come for me and my people, because one thing about it, I'm not anti anything, but I am pro-Black because that's all I know. So I had to let the churn know, don't come for me. I'm not the one. But we're going to have some fun. All right. If you had to leave this earth and you came back reincarnated as a car, what type of vehicle would you be?
A Camaro.
Okay, why?
Basically, I like the sleekness of it. I like the style of it, and that's my favorite. That's actually one of my favorite car. So yeah.
All right, cool. So, KB, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Instagram, KB Ben, KB_Ben, the number one, and then Facebook, my music page at KB Ben 415.
All right, and so finally, what is it that you want everybody in this world to know about KB Ben?
I guess that I'm just a typical normal guy who who loves everyone, and I want to help the community. I'm just a caring person overall. I give more than anything. I was told someone yesterday, if I get rich, I won't be rich long. And they asked me why. I said, because I'm a giving person. So I just want to spread love, and if my music can help anyone, that's what I want to do. Whatever you're going through, if it can uplift you, I just want you to know that that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do. I just want to see love around the world. Just want to see everybody love everybody. That's it. Like that's I can't really describe it. That's me. That's my heart.
Wow, look, that's another thing. It's like, it's so amazing how here lately, and I have no particular order or no particular selection of how I schedule my guests. I pretty much try to schedule my guests first come, first serve. But for the past couple of shows, everybody's message has been similar. Yours is about love, while the Tuna's was about collectivism and impact, and pretty much educating the world and bringing people together. It's just, and I love it. When this happens, I know that it's intentional. So, KB Ben, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And I look forward to working with you further. But until next time, peace, love, and everything else in between.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye. So guys, Wilde Tuna was super dope from Philly. And then I took it a little bit over to the Midwest and brought on KB Band from Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, baby. Yeah. And you know, while he was talking, I was thinking about Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton when they performed, and Chris Stapleton started off with Tennessee Whiskey. And then Justin Timberlake, what is his song? I can't think of the song, but baby, they took it all the way. They took it gospel, they took it R&B, they did country. It was everything. And when I think about those two, I think about KB Band. So shout out to you, KB Band, and much luck to you. Now, y'all know I always got to bring somebody out here that's just off the chain. So this guy is so crazy. He is actually from Petersburg, Virginia. And we actually met on the red carpet in Atlanta, which is weird because he lived right down the road from me. Like literally 25 minutes. This gentleman, Tay Funny, y'all, is a comedian. He's an artist. He is just he too much for the asking. So I'm gonna just go on and bring him out because I feel like y'all gonna be weak. He gonna make you laugh and he gonna make you cry. Not because you're sad, but he gonna make you laugh till you cry. What's up, Tay?
Yeah.
Crazy. Tell the world who you are.
Well, I'm Tay Funny. I'm a producer, engineer. I do everything but for videos. So, everybody asks me, what do you don't do? That's what I tell them, videos. I can't shoot videos and shit.
Well, okay. So what does this artistry mean to you? What does the world of artistry look like for Tay Funny?
See, the word of artistry, like I fell in love with music first. I'm gonna say like fourth grade, that's when I landed my first drum. I started off playing for like a little African trap for the YMCA. Then it ended up being on Power 92 back in the day. And then my mom was like, you hear him talking about you on the radio? They were like, oh my God, I don't know who this little drummer was, but he was amazing. Then after that, I just fell in love. You see, I got the tats all on my arm. I take it serious. I don't even play about my music no more. I'll beat somebody up over my music.
I believe it. I believe it. All right. So, but you're not just any type of artist because you are an entire brand in yourself. So talk to us a little bit about kind of how you separate things because you're also a comedian, I hear.
Yeah. And that actually came from my friends. They'd be like, hey, you funny as hell. And they'd be like, it's natural. It's like a natural funny. So I say, you know what? My name Tay Funny. That's my motherfucking name. So I just took it around with it.
So Tay Funny is your stage name for comedy and your music.
Yep.
And your production.
Well, people on the streets, they call me 2 Feet. That's why I started out like 2 FEAT. And they called me that because I never made a song. All my songs have one verse. I feel like because when I listen to the songs now, songs are nothing like not even 2 minutes long. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a big fan of X before he died. And listen to his music. It's a hook, a verse, a hook, and it's done. You feel me? And then when it comes to the streams, so think about them streams, they be like, damn, this song number like a minute and 30 seconds. I gotta hit it on again and again. And so the streams coming up. Feel me? So that's how and then there's always a feature, so 2 featuring. So that's what they call me in the street. So if people that know me, like know me, they call me 2 Feet. And like people that are fans of mine, like the other day I had somebody yelling out like some people yelling out the window, Tay Funny. I was like, hey, what up, Nick? I don't know who they is though. You feel me? So it's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling.
All right. So what does your creative process look like? Because you're a comedian, you're an artist, and a producer. So, what is your creative process? How do you kind of do your music, and how do you do other people's music, and not, you know?
I'm gonna tell you like this: it's hard as hell, but I do it. I just had to just find time for myself. But I don't pay myself, so when I record other people, I be like, all right, I'm gonna drop what I'm doing and tell him come on, so I get that money, and then get that money, send him about his way, and then start back up what I was finishing off for myself. But I ain't gonna lie, I be tired as hell. I do. Because you see now, I'm living in a motel, so I really don't have a stable home, so I gotta get this money up because 230 a week. It's not easy.
That's a lot. So, okay, Tate, that's another story in itself. You know,
Yeah.
whew, your spirits are so high. You are so sweet and congenial, but seemingly there have been struggles along the way. How do
Yeah, and
you
I'm
keep?
still
How
struggling
do
as
you
we
keep
speak.
pushing? How do you keep pushing?
Cause man, my mom and my grandma always told me just keep a smiling, everything be alright. Even though them the motherfuckers that kicked me out, they said keep a smile on your face, everything gonna be okay. And you never know, they kicked me out. You see, I'm staying in the motel, but you never know. 6 months from now, I might be a millionaire. With both of them in the house. Both of them in the
You
house.
know what? You just spoke volumes. You just spoke volumes. And one of the things I love about you is that I noticed that you'll take anything. You'll take anything and turn it into a lesson. And one thing about it, when you can turn anything into a lesson, you end up getting a blessing out of it because you never know who you're going to meet that's going to put you in a position to be able to make the things that you need to happen for yourself happen. And so sometimes, and it's crazy because I can't say I understand what's going on with you, but I will say this. I can remember being 17 and graduating from high school, and I was like, once I leave home, I ain't never coming back. And my mother always told me, she said, never say never. And she also said, leave home in such a way that you can always return. But what I love is that I was fortunate enough to never literally have to return home, but I learned so many lessons while being out there on my own, going through college, going through grad school, and having to really pull myself up. Because one thing about it, family all the time ain't gonna have your back. They will say they gonna have your back when you doing good, but let you mess up and do something that you shouldn't have done. They ain't gonna have your back. They gonna talk about you, right? I'm pretty sure that's everybody's story. But when you have to be
The
on
first
your own,
issue with this right here, mama ain't like this, but I love this, and it helped me tolerate a lot of shit. Even when I'm going through now, that's why I smoke a lot of weed because I ain't gonna lie, I'm struggling. It might not look like it. Don't let the chains fool you. Don't let the goals fool you. Don't let the drip fool you. You know what I'm saying? Well, everybody struggle. You gotta go through a struggle for a come up. That's how I take it.
well, what I know is that there is multiple pots of gold on the other side of the rainbow for you because you have an awesome spirit. You are very, very teachable, but you also teach others. And I think what's happening is what you're giving to others that you don't know that you're giving to others is the reason that you are content where you are right now. And you won't be that long. You won't be that long. So, Tay Funny, what do you want the world to know about
I'm
you?
I'm a ladies man. I'm a ladies man. So ladies, I'm single. Hit me up. I ain't rich, but I can spoil you. You feel me?
We
But yeah,
we
I'm
know.
a good dude, man. Like when like if you get to know me, everybody falls in love with me. I think it's the Virgo in me. But I'm a very loving person, cheering person. Like you just fall in love. I don't know, like even animals, down to the animals love me. Everybody love me.
I don't know about no animals now. You
Yeah, like
Virgos, yeah, they love us, but I don't know about no animals now. No, I don't know about the animals. I'm gonna let you have
yeah,
animals. I don't know about no animals. Tay Funny,
I
tell
can go to
everybody
somebody's house and have a
behind you.
dog. The dog ain't never see me in their life. The dog be up on me like I own that dog or something. They be like, "What you do to my dog?" I be like, "I don't know. I'm just a loving person." I got that vibe. That's what they say. This is 2020. That's what they say. I got that vibe.
Where you have that vibe. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let you keep that vibe with them animals. I keep vibing you keep vibing with the animals. With the animals. So Tay Funny,
don't
tell
want
everybody
animals.
where they can find you on social media.
All right, you can find me on social media. Everything Tay Funny. But don't type everything. Just type in Tay Funny. But on all social media, it's Tay Funny. TAEFUNNY.
Guys, everything is Tay Funny. Once again, you can find him on everything at TAEFUNNY. That's Tay Funny. So, guys, today was super duper
That's the
awesome.
cash
This
app.
was, he definitely was like, this is what we about to do. So listen, when Tay Funny say this is what we gonna do, you listen. I don't even challenge him. And this is what we did. And it was super duper dope. Book him for comedy or for music. And if you need beats, hit him up at Tay Funny on IG. Absolutely. And let's help him run those numbers up. Let's run those streams up. Let's run those likes and those views. Because in this industry, it's all about the numbers. No, I don't agree with it. And I tell y'all that all the time because everybody's quantification is not organic. I love quality. Quality is what speaks, but we know that we live in a numbers driven world. So, Tay Funny, thank you so much for being with me. I know we'll be chopping it up here and there. Hopefully, we will see you on the big stage again in a couple of other states soon there to come, but we won't put it out there right now.
You will. You will.
All right, thanks. Talk to you later.
All right.
Guys, it was super duper dope. We started off with Wilde Tuna and we talked about conscious culture, but we also talked about how he is an artist turned journalist. Then KB Ben came on and KB Ben just took me through it because KB Ben talked about how he left his home as a youngin', slept in cars, slept in parking lots, slept in his friends' houses until he got to a point where he could sustain himself. And then we have Tay Funny, who is out here traveling, doing his thing with his artistry. And yet he is even actually classified as an individual who doesn't have a place to stay simply because of where he is right now. But guess what? He's not defined by his struggle. He's making it happen. And these three gentlemen came together to create today's broadcast called the Gentleman's Edition. And every last one of them are total gentlemen. So until next time, have an awesome day. And remember, this platform is always here to bring you joy, jewels, and